It squeezed ketchup all over its belly, then cracked an egg on its head, pretending to be the victim of a car accident. The driver froze in shock. He couldn't believe he had just hit an Antarctic penguin in the middle of Africa. Crowds quickly gathered, snapping photos with their cameras. Meanwhile, 3 other penguins used a seesaw to launch themselves onto the car. Just as the driver was performing CPR on the injured penguin, they somehow managed to start the engine. The one pretending to be dead floated up like a balloon and landed right on the roof of the car.
Yeah. Music.
And just like that, they drove off in broad daylight. Why? Because their plan was to dismantle the car and build a plane to take all the animals back to the New York Zoo. Soon, the plane was finished, but the runway was far too short. They had no choice but to use a catapult to launch it. At the captain's command, the lemurs released the vines. The mechanism snapped, and the plane shot into the sky. You thought the plane was going to crash? Of course not. The penguin captain didn't even know what the word failure meant. But things didn't go smoothly either. Halfway through the flight, a warning light flashed. The captain immediately grabbed the flight manual. The problem got fixed, but a small issue quickly turned into a big one. Both wings stopped moving altogether. Looking at the captain's calm expression, I thought he had a plan, but
We're crash landing. Here comes the air travel. We know you have no choice whatsoever.
the truth was, even in the middle of a crisis, the flight attendants still handed out drinks to the passengers. Everyone continued to put their faith in the captain. Sure enough, under his command, the plane steadied itself. Against all odds, they pulled off a miraculous emergency landing. The plane was badly damaged, but at least no one was hurt. Later, the captain learned that repairing it would take 9 years, so he hired a crew of local workers. That's right, those clever monkeys. With their help, the plane could be fixed in just 1 month. Meanwhile, Alex wandered off and unexpectedly found his long-lost parents. 10 years earlier, when he was just a cub, he had been captured by hunters while playing. His father tried to save him, but was shot and fell. The crate holding Alex tumbled into the ocean and eventually drifted to New York. Talented and full of energy, Alex quickly rose to fame at the zoo. People called him the King of New York, but to return to his pride, he had to pass the tribe's trial. Makunga tricked him into choosing what he thought was the weakest opponent, a lion named Tsitsi. But to everyone's shock, Tsitsi was actually the strongest. Alex didn't realize the danger. He was so excited, he even broke into dance. His father couldn't bring himself to exile his son. Instead, he threw down the staff of leadership and handed the throne to the cunning Makunga. Meanwhile, the giraffe's life wasn't going well either. He found out that the hippo girl he secretly loved already had a boyfriend. Heartbroken, he sank into despair, spending his days moping around and even planning to dig a pit and starve himself. But before he gave up, King Julian encouraged him to speak from the heart. The giraffe finally decided to confess his feelings. When he arrived, though, he saw the hippo in the arms of her boyfriend. She asked him, "What do you really like about me?" But his answer left her disappointed. The giraffe showed up just in time to break the awkward silence. At last, he poured out all the feelings he had kept inside.
If I was ever so lucky to find the perfect woman, I would give her flowers every day. And not just any flowers. And I'd spend every day trying to think of how to make her laugh. She has the most amazing laugh.
Meanwhile, Makunga proved to be a terrible leader. When the river dried up, he didn't solve the problem. Instead, he forced the animals to fight over the last drops of water. Alex was furious. He promised to find water for everyone and set out with Marty beyond the reserve into dangerous lands. Their friends tried to help by digging, but they unearthed a pile of gold instead of water. The animals grew even more disappointed. Then King Julian arrived on an elephant. He spoke of an ancient ritual. If someone offered themselves as a sacrifice to the Great Spirit in the volcano, rain would fall as a reward. The heartbroken giraffe volunteered. All the animals sighed in relief, hailing him as a hero. Afraid he might change his mind, they rushed him toward the volcano. Before leaving, he confessed his love to the hippo one more time. The hippo froze as the giraffe was carried farther and farther away. She finally realized the truth. The one she wanted had been right there all along. She sprinted forward with all her strength, determined to stop him. And just as he stood on the edge of death, she appeared in time.
It's crazy to think I had to go halfway around the world to find out that the perfect guy for me lived right next door.
At the same time, Alex discovered the real cause of the drought. A group of humans had built a dam, blocking the river to survive. Before he could act, they caught him. He and Marty tried to flee, but Alex fell into a trap. Marty ran off to get help. That night, under the command of the old lady, the humans tied Alex to a stake, ready to roast him alive. At the last second, his father rushed in to save him. But how would they escape? Right then, Alex started to dance. The same flashy moves he had once performed at the New York Zoo. The humans froze. That's the King of New York. They shouted. They dropped their weapons. But the old lady refused to give up. She raised her shotgun. Just then, the penguins swooped in with their newly modified helicopter, blasting in to save the day.
She's got a gun! Let's get out while we can! Pass it on!
He said, let's have some fun and take out the dam. Pass it out.
Skipper! Alex wants to take out the dam!
All right. Let them go! Pull up! They'll kill us! There's gotta be another way! Pass it on!
They say no, pull up. Kill us. There's no other way. Pass it out.
Are you sure?
The captain ordered a direct strike on the dam. With one blast, it was destroyed. The river flowed back onto the savannah. Animals on the brink of death cheered as water returned. Alex and his father stood tall, hailed as heroes. But then Makunga appeared, sneering, "Don't think finding water makes you all that." Alex didn't get angry. Instead, he handed Makunga the old lady's handbag. Makunga grinned as he took it, not knowing it would only bring him trouble. Later, Alex's father passed him the staff of leadership. Together, father and son raised it high, a symbol that they were the true kings of the savannah.
I, sir, the king of New York.